just need 2. 5 seconds remaining. Barrett brings it up. Barrett on the drive, goes inside. He throws it down. He throws it down.
What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So there really wasn't that much news until a lot of stuff that happened yesterday, games-wise. So didn't really get to do another video this week. So this news might be a little bit old, but yes, the Chargers did finally fire their offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, and their passing coordinator coach, or their quarterback coach, whatever you want to call it, Shane Day as well, because they're pretty much a package deal. They're both working together so closely. And it's, yeah, they're obviously going to try to get someone new and better, and maybe someone a little bit more of a veteran when it comes to calling plays, and maybe some ex-head coach experience who's trying to make his way back up to becoming a head coach. I know talked a lot about Frank Reich, who recently got let go by the Colts, but even he's been interviewing like for the Cardinals and Carolina and pretty much everybody that's been having an open head coaching position. So he might end up getting another head coaching job anyways. But I know the Chargers did try to talk to or get an interview with one of the offensive coordinators or quarterbacks coach with the Minnesota Vikings, but the Vikings did deny them. It's one of the first times I've seen where a team denies one of their secondary type of coaches a denial for a better coaching job. So unless that other offensive coordinator is leaving and they're going to promote that guy or whatever, you never know. But overall, I think they're trying to. I know there's a quarterback coach in the Rams organization that they like a lot. A couple other guys I've heard Cliff Kingsbury being mentioned, but he just got let go by the Cardinals when he did not do a really good job with Kyle Murray, and he went to Thailand and said that he doesn't want anybody to talk to him. So who knows if he's even still going to be available. But either way, it's a ongoing process for the Chargers, and hopefully they do find the right person, whether it's a veteran or a guy that is coming up in the ranks, because there's a lot of guys. Even the coordinator that got fired by the Jets, one of the LaFleur, he's related to the head coach at Green Bay. I think he could be a good guy because he just had a bad quarterback in Zach Wilson, in my opinion. So I would not mind having him. And then ESPN actually has ranked now USC's wide receiver Jordan Addison with a first-round grade in the NFL draft coming up soon. I know they have, I believe, one more receiver ranked a little bit higher than him in Jackson Smith-Njigba, who's a wide receiver from Ohio State. But either way, it's still, your top two in your position, and most likely are going to get selected in the first round. It isn't that great of a year for receivers, especially after those two guys, but I think those two guys are the most likely ones to get drafted in the first round, in my opinion, and it's just going to keep the streak of a USC player selected in the first round of the draft. So hopefully it can continue once again. But yeah, it's definitely looking forward to the draft coming up in a couple months. And then ex-USC player for Cleveland, Evan Mobley, the center, recently had a new career high yesterday. He ended up going for 38 points, had 9 rebounds as well, I believe, in a victory. So it was good that they were able to still get the victory, and he got a new career high also. So that was awesome to see. Hopefully he can continue it. I know he's probably not going to be an all-star this year. He's missed quite a bit of time with an injury here and there. So either way, I still think he's a good up-and-coming guy for the future for that Cleveland Cavalier team. Then the Anaheim Ducks beats a team 5-3 the other day. I could not tell because they don't put the names of the team, and sometimes these teams change their logo so many times, but I think it was the it's not Colorado, Canadian Blue Jackets, one of those. Whoever's the Blue Jackets, or if they're still called that, I don't know, maybe it's offensive to people who would like to wear blue jackets. But yeah, that CBJ, whatever that team is, I think it is. Either way, they got the victory. Hopefully they can continue it, but I think they played yesterday and lost either way, so I guess they couldn't. Then when it comes to Duke, yes, they played yesterday pretty early, like around 9 o'clock here in LA time, and they were playing against number 17 Miami, who's obviously a team that's been on a hot streak, ranked number 17 in the nation, and Duke actually has fallen out of the top 25 for the first time in a while, so that's pretty crazy. But they've been like winning one game, losing another, so they've been off and on, so they finally took them out, but they did get this victory yesterday, 68-66. They had a chance to at least pad in the lead a little bit. Tyrese Proctor, of course, the freshman I'm the least bit on, missed a free throw of a 1-and-1. So of course you missed the first one, you don't get the second one. And that was when they were still up 2. They had a chance, Miami did, to win the game from 3 or half court, but luckily so much time had run out. I think it was still like a little bit over a second left. So he was lucky, Proctor that is, that it did not go in or wasn't close. But yes, either way they did get this victory. It's a nice ACC victory, and maybe it might get them back in the top 25 this week coming up. You never know. I forget who they play next, but pretty sure it is another ACC game. We'll see how it goes, but yes, good luck to those guys. Now, yes, Jeremy Roach, the captain, did return finally. He had like 14 points. That was nice. Kyle Filipowski once again dominated as well, going with crazy numbers once again. So very happy about those two. Then the Lakers apparently have been pushing quotations to try to get this player in Cam Reddish, who is also another ex-Duke player from the New York Knicks. And apparently a reporter in Mark Stein recently said this last week that the Knicks are only looking for a second-round pick, and the Lakers have 2 second-round picks this year coming up, one from Chicago and their own. So I don't know why they haven't, if they're looking to push to get him and the Knicks are only looking for that, like, why haven't you done it, you know, unless they see that Chicago is worse than the Lakers or will be worse and they want that second round pick instead of the Lakers. I don't know what the heck's going on, but it seems like the Lakers front office aren't going to be making any moves anytime soon, which sucks because I know Jeannie Buss or Rob Pelinka, one of those, the GM, recently came out and said something, but I don't know. I didn't really care because as long as it's not a trade happening or officially happening, then I don't really care what they got to say, in my opinion, with the Lakers. But overall, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, when it comes to the Lakers, just they had a couple of nice wins this last week or so since I made a video. They played the Rockets a few days ago, and they were able to get that victory pretty easily, a little bit easier, 140-132. A lot of points scored in that game, and even LeBron had 48 points. I think it was like 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Those could be mixed up, whatever. So nearly a 40-plus point triple-double, or actually a nearly 50-point triple-double. But I think this was the first time he scored 40 against Houston, which I believe they said it was a stat that he did not have, scoring 40-plus points against that one NBA team. Now he does, which is insane. It goes to obviously how long he's been playing, but you know how prolific you are scoring the ball too, to average that type of stat. I mean, he had to average like 10 or 20 points against every team is interesting, but 40, that's pretty insane. I know a lot of people hate him, but I do like it when he's doing good for my team and they're winning. So either way, I was okay with it. Then the next game, they did end up playing the Memphis Grizzlies, who were coming in on a hot streak, winning their last 10 straight games. But the Lakers were able to stop that win streak, and they're able to beat them 122-121. I think right at the last second, last possession for Memphis, they were trying to inbound the ball, and then Dennis Schroeder comes around the side. I think it was Brooks, could be someone else. Slaps the ball away, steals it, goes in for the layup. They go up the 1 point. And I forget if Memphis had another opportunity there at the end or not. I didn't bother watching this game because I just assumed Lakers were going to lay an egg and lose. But surprisingly, they did win with that one play. And it's all better to them because it is against, especially the last 2 games, against the Western Conference opponents. I think there was a game in there in between that they did lose to the Kings, who's not only in their division, but on the Western side too. So that sucked. But the last 3 games to win 2 out of the 3, I guess, isn't bad. I'm pretty sure they're still under 500, which sucks. But either way, it's kind of weird, the West, because from like teams 4th or 5th place all the way down to like, I want to say a 10th, 11th, 13th or something like that. If you just go on like a 4 or 5 game win streak, you could go all the way from the bottom to the top, or even the same. If you lose 3 or 4 games, you could go all the way down too as well. So the West is definitely more competitive this year, even if the records don't show it wise. But I still think it's going to be tough for the Lakers to get one of those top spots. But all we could do is hope. And I hear that Anthony Davis is, not only did he say he was ramping up last week, but he does have a chance to play at some point this week coming up against the Celtics. So that'll be pretty good to have one of your top players against your biggest rival. So definitely looking forward to that if it does end up coming to fruition. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. And yes, I was correct on my games yesterday. Philly did win pretty handedly. And who was it? Yeah, Kansas City ended up barely getting that victory against Jacksonville. I don't think the same result would have happened for the Chargers if they played them, just because, you know, Mahomes had that rolled over ankle early in the first quarter, and who knows if that happens with the Chargers as well. But either way, they still got that victory. Maybe it's a big thing going into their future games against whoever wins today, Cincinnati or Buffalo. But we'll see. I mean, even Buffalo's, their quarterback's been off and on. Cincinnati obviously went there last year to the Super Bowl, but we'll see. They're missing their whole offensive line as well, pretty much. And then the other game, who is it? Dallas and San Francisco. Obviously, I'm biased and trying to go for San Francisco, but we'll see. Hopefully, it's a better game than it is, but if it's not, then I hope that the 49ers win handedly. But we'll see. Thanks for watching. Like I said, have a great rest of your day. Bye if I don't.